All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a couple of real people out there just like you and just like me. This could be I'm not talking about real music episode. I'm sorry. I'm going to be talking about Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam, okay? So Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder is in the news because he has decided to call out former President Trump as being desperate. And talking about this in his new song called Wreckage from the already multi-platinum album Dark Matter. Yes, I don't know if it's multi-platinum. I'm just projecting. I'm doing projection. Eddie Vedder's never been one to shy away from his political opinions, and that continues with Pearl Jam's latest album, Dark Matter. In an interview with the UK's The Sunday Times, he's talking to a newspaper in Great Britain, the UK, England, okay? Vedder shares that the song Wreckage deals with his feelings on former President Donald Trump. He goes, there is a guy in the United States who is still saying he didn't lose an election, and people are reverberating and amplifying that message as if it is true, says Vedder. Trump is desperate. I don't think there has ever been a candidate more desperate to win, just to keep himself out of prison and to avoid bankruptcy. Referring to the various legal cases against Trump, Vedder adds it is all on the line, and he's out there playing the victim. At least they're doing this to me because if not, they would be doing it to you. But you haven't falsified your tax records. This is Vedder talking about other people who may or may not have falsified their tax records. Let me stop there to address something here, because this is kind of, I'm going to make a point here. So this idea of, say, overvaluing your properties in New York and, wherever you're at, it's very common practice. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's very common practice. And so this idea of falsifying your tax records, it's just, does anybody, when they, okay, let me say something here. So when you pull up to the gas pump, do you say to yourself, oh, I like paying $4 a gallon? Because, Donald Trump, when he was in office, we were paying like $2 a gallon. I would rather pay $4 because Trump falsified his tax records. Maybe. Is that what you do? Oh, you're just immoral. You should be willing to pay double for gas in order to keep Trump out. Now, again, I'm not endorsing Donald Trump. People know my opinion about Trump. But as time goes on, and as we get closer to this election, this is insane. I mean, he's out there saying it's election interference, right? To continue to just pile on. Now, why didn't they bring up this hush money thing like 8 years ago? What took them 8 years? You don't think the timing is a little suspect? All of these cases all at the same time. How come they didn't bring these cases in 2016? Right? All of these cases probably could have went forward in 2016. And he's going to talk about the classified documents, right? Let me get to this sentence here, because it's almost over. Because again, Eddie Vedder, he's a political sage. He knows so much about you and me. You don't have classified information in your basement, he continues. So the song is saying, let's not be driven apart by one person, especially not a person without any worthy causes. Okay. So here's a worthy cause for you, Eddie. I'm paying too much at the pump, right? Inflation is insane. I'm paying too much at the grocery store. So those are two very worthy causes to me. Interest rates, Eddie, because we keep printing money. We're giving billions of dollars to foreign countries. How come Pearl Jam isn't outspoken about endless war? Remember in the past, bands used to be kind of like anti-war. Don't send our soldiers to Vietnam. Don't send them to wherever, right? But they were anti-war. They were literally anti-war. Sometimes to a fault, like, hey, we're being attacked. Nope, I'm a pacifist, right? I'm not one of those, but I am somebody who is like questioning why we're sending billions of dollars to foreign countries, which we don't have because we're trillions of dollars in debt. Now, I know this is a little much for Eddie Vedder maybe to understand here, but a worthy cause, Eddie. I'm not saying Trump is like this, I don't know, pure as the driven snow, like his motives maybe aren't a little crooked at times. But I did pay, again, this is the blind man who goes and shows the Pharisees what happened here. Well, I couldn't see, but now I can see. Same thing here. I was paying $2 a gallon for gas. Well, you're selfish. You should be driving an electric car. And who's going to give me like 40 grand for the electric car? And what's going to happen when that battery wears out in the electric car? And where are they going to dispose of these batteries when they're all said and done? Right? So that's not going to, and by the way, I guess you don't want me driving more than 300 or 400 miles, because then I'm going to have to stop and then recharge for hours. And then, well, they have faster methods to charge now, Dave. Okay, here's the deal. Tell the people up in the heartland there where it gets down to like 20 below zero to drive an electric car. All right? Because those batteries, they do things when it's cold out. I don't want to get into the deep weeds here with this. So there are worthy causes. Gas prices are too high. Interest rates are too high. We're spending trillions of dollars. And I'm not saying we didn't spend trillions under Trump either, by the way. But there are worthy causes. The other guy isn't running to fix any of these problems. He's running to continue these problems. And don't even get me started on mandating that I need to get a safe and effective product. Don't even get me started for the greater good. You could just tell by the music that these guys put out and their attitude toward the working class that they don't think any of these things are worthy causes. He doesn't have a worthy cause because he's not for climate change. He doesn't understand the climate is changing and we need to fix that immediately. How much hubris do we have to think that we can just snap our fingers and fix that? If it is a thing. And I have some doubts about what is the cause, and is it just us, and is it us plus the sun, or is it just the sun, or does the earth kind of go in different cycles? I remember in the 70s when I was growing up, they said an ice age was coming. An ice age, everything's going to freeze solid. They weren't right about that, were they? No. So again, this has been going on for a little while, so now they're all freaked out about it. But the working class, we have causes, Eddie Vedder. We have worthy causes. And he says, let's not be driven apart by one person. Okay, well, here's the thing. We're not being driven apart by one person. If there were better choices out there, right? And there could be better choices. And you got RFK, he's running for president too, which again, none of these guys are going to jump on that bandwagon, which is kind of weird. And I'm thinking it's because RFK doesn't like the pharmaceutical industrial complex, right? I'm kind of thinking that's what it is. And who sponsors everything, including concerts these days? This concert brought to you by Pfizer. Enjoy the show. Pfizer. We've got a cure for something that you don't even know you have. Okay, cool. When's the concert coming on? Well, sit through these advertisements for products that we have. And then, of course, you'll have to sit through all of the side effects that they tell you about. Yeah, dark matter is out there, folks. You know where the dark matter is? My fellow human beings who are walking around since the year 2020, there's a lot of dark matter. And I don't know how to explain that. Well, I do. I have theories, but people think I'm crazy when I start spouting the theories. But here's the deal about Eddie Vedder. And again, if you really were concerned about you're not, because by the way, your audience, Eddie, isn't the working class. It's not. Working class people are buying country albums, or buying rock albums, or real rock albums. They're not really into a 30-year-old grunge band. They don't. It's not their thing. So again, same audience as like Springsteen or John Mellencamp, even though the music is very different, it's the political mindset. Nobody really cares about the working class. Nobody cares about flyover country. Nobody cares about coal miners. Nobody cares about people who have had these really great jobs over their lives, and slowly those jobs are being phased out because of technology. So look, there are plenty of worthy causes. It's that kind of triggered me when you said here that especially not a person without any worthy causes. Maybe if Trump said that he was, I don't know, pick a cause. Maybe he thinks that men, if he came out and said, I think men should play in women's sports, right? I think we should have more men playing in women's sports. Then he'd have a worthy cause, according to this guy. Or if he said, my number one priority is climate change, right? And maybe I propose that we lock down, especially these rural communities where there are too many cows roaming around. We lock all those things down. We stop eating beef. And then Trump would be the darling of this community. Although, again, people are just really worried about those classified documents. Even if this is true, who's losing sleep? Who's at the gas pump going, classified documents? Wow. It's worth paying $4 a gallon. Yeah, because Trump had classified documents, as did Biden, by the way. And then the guy who investigated Biden said that he was too feeble and senile to prosecute. He had a built-in alibi. He's too old, and he didn't know even what he was talking about when he was trying to answer these questions. And so the guy's like, yeah, this guy probably just threw these things in his garage next to his Corvette, and he didn't know. He didn't even, it didn't register to him that this was a bad thing. Whereas Trump knew better. Trump was hiding them in his bathroom in Mar-a-Lago, in Melania's sock drawer or underwear drawer, whatever they found. It's like, and this is what, and Eddie, this is important to Eddie Vedder. I don't have classified documents in my basement. That's what he's saying. Me, I don't have them. So I'm not like Trump. True, I don't have classified documents. I may have some paperwork from some repairs that I've done on my car. I kept the receipts, right? Hopefully those receipts are, they're not classified. They're public information. Anyone wants to know, I'd be glad to share that information. Am I excusing Donald Trump? No, but Trump took the documents, and Trump is like a collector. I was in the White House, so I'm going to bring all this stuff back. Clinton did that stuff. Clinton took furniture, if I remember, right? Took paintings right off the wall. I mean, but that's not because classified documents. You mean these have all the secrets of how our government goes about provoking other countries to go to war. And so then we have to spend billions of dollars through the military industrial complex, right? We have to keep doing that, inflating our own dollar and driving the prices of everything through the roof. And interest rates as well. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you can't buy a house. But that's not a worthy cause. Not a worthy cause. Look, Donald Trump is not a pastor. He's not a pope. He's not a good example. I can go down the list of things. He's not somebody that you should have your kids look up to. But the stuff that's coming out where we're all supposed to just ignore how bad things are. And if this guy says, hey, I would like to make it so you can afford to buy a house. I'd like to make it so they don't ban gas-powered vehicles, because they're thinking about it. They're doing it, I think, in California. But this is the Eddie Vedder class, We're just more erudite, and we're just smarter than you are, and you're a rube, and you don't understand that we're in dire straits right now. No, actually, it's Nirvana. rock bands. It's not Pearl Jam. Nope. Pearl Jam. You know what? That's a disgusting name for a band when you think it through. All right. So again, I've done 2 kind of ranting and raving videos today about stories that were in the news. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame being one, and now the Dark Matter. All right. The most appropriate name for an album ever, Dark Matter, by a band that pretty much promotes dark matter and is dark matter at this stage. Look, if you like Pearl Jam, God bless you, man. God bless. But between the music and the politics, I think it's a perfect storm of being something I just don't really care for. And if you don't think getting the working class a little bit of a breather from the onslaught over the last, I don't know how many years, if you don't think that's a worthy cause, then I can't help you. I can't help you with that. Maybe you should go to a Pearl Jam concert. You'll feel better about the world. I don't know. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I'm rambling, so I have to go. God bless everyone. Please pray for peace in the Middle East. Let's pray for an end to the endless wars. Pearl Jam, I guess, doesn't care about that. By the way, few climate change people who think climate change is a big deal. Endless war is not good for the climate. Just put it out there. Endless war is really bad for the environment. It's bad for the climate. So maybe they should kind of care about that stuff, but apparently they don't.